y'all, welcome back to the second part. This time I'm going to be making the card. As you can see on the left, I had already colored part of Anya's hair in brown. I oversaturated and it didn't come out the way I wanted it to. I re-stamped the stamp onto another piece of cardstock and recolored it up. I am now fussy cutting it out and we'll be able to adhere this hair to above the other hair, and no one should be able to tell that I did anything. It'll just look like I have an extra layer. I do have a tip for you for fussy cutting out your images. Move the paper rather than moving your scissors. This will give you a smoother cut. I also wanted to share a tip that a friend of mine told me about layering your images that you have cut. One of the best things you can do is take a black marker. I'm using a Tombow black marker and outlining the edges of my images. Then you don't see the white on the edge and you look like an absolutely brilliant cutter. I'm now using my Tombow glue pen to adhere the hair onto the other Anya. You won't be able to tell that I did this unless you're really looking for it. I really like this glue pen as it's very fine point. I'm also using my tweezer bee so I can get a perfect placement. The acrylic block you see is a tip I got from Nicole Mayork. She has her own channel on YouTube. I love watching her videos. Wet adhesive can cause a piece of paper to curl, so therefore whenever you weight it while it's drying, it has less tendency to curl. As you can see, I've gone on ahead and fussy cut out Anya. Now because the hair has an extra level, I felt that the holly should have an extra level since it is in the 3D world above the hair. So I'm adding 3M mounting tape to it, and now the holly will appear above the hair. I've put foam mounting tape on the back of Anya, and I am here adhering her to the oval that will go on the front of my card. This helps an image pop. Now I'm adhering down a piece of pattern paper from the Peace Joy Love paper pad. I really like that green paper, but I feel it needs something, so I'm going to do something I haven't done before. I put 1-inch score tape. Yes, I have done that. And now I'm going to use Ladybug Red Doodlebug flocking to make my own velvet paper. I found out flocking is a lot like glitter. It gets everywhere. It won't come off your paper if you make sure that you really press it down. A tip I learned from Jennifer McGuire is when you're done, clean up your work area with a Swiffer duster cloth. The static helps get every little particle. I'm now adhering the green paper to it. I love the red strip behind it. So I'm going to use my Perfect Layers ruler and cut a 1/16 edge along the edge of it. Then I will take my marker and cover up that white paper on the edge. Now I'm going to cut it. I will switch scissors to my Ginger scissors. They are my favorite scissors for fussy cutting. Yes, I only use them for fussy cutting. Now I felt it needed more. It always has to have more. So I decided to add this absolutely gorgeous twine from Lawn Fawn. I'm placing Anya so that way I know exactly where to tie my bow. I have a tip for you for tying your bows with twine. I learned this from Christina Werner. She also has her own YouTube channel. Keep your ends loose. It will keep your twine from twisting on you. Don't keep it on the spool while you're tying your bow. Now I am using my twine scissors. Yes, I have scissors for twine. To cut the ends of that. I'm also using multi-matte medium in order to glue this down. It is a matte adhesive, will keep that bow from coming undone, and you won't be able to see where it is unless you're specifically looking for it. Now to make Anya stand on the card normal without being malformed, I'm putting foam tape at the top, and at the bottom I will use my tape runner to make sure that she adheres to the green section. This way she's level going across. I liked that red strip so much that I made some more paper and used a Simon Says stamp die to cut out my sentiment. As you can see with this sentiment, it gets lost on that paper, but I do have a tip to show you in a minute on how to fix that. I'm again using multi-matte medium to adhere it down. I'm just putting it on the back with my finger and using my tweezer bees to place it. This is the tip for getting it to show up. I went around it with a white gel pen. This gives your eye a break when going from the red to the busy background. A really cool thing you can do with your Copics is color your embellishments. I have found it's cheaper to buy clear or white embellishments and then color them with my Copics. Problem with this is that they do remain wet for a while, so they are sticky, and if you touch them you will have to touch up your work. I decided that the berries looked a little plain without a rhinestone on them, so I decided to make some rhinestones for them. I'm using one of the colors I used to color her dress, so that way they match it perfectly. I also decided the holly leaves were a little stark, so I'm using a clear Wink of Stella pen to add some very fine glitter. This pen is very addicting, fair warning, but it does not mess with your Copic coloring. It is water-based, so if you're using water-based markers, you can actually watercolor with it. Since I touched the berries, I had to do a touch-up on them. So now I'll just leave them to dry and they'll be fine. Something else I did with that flocked paper, you saw a lot of it left over. I used dies from Lawn Fawn and Mama Elephant to make little hearts. I can save these to use on later cards. Now you see the finished card. I hope you like it. I wanted to say thank you very much for watching. If you watched both parts 1 and 2, huge thank you. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And also, I hope that you have a great day.